Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and our new edition of our online interviews here. Now we want to talk to Revival Gold, and Hugh Agro, the CEO, is here with us. Good morning to Toronto. Hugh, how are you?
I'm very good, Jochen. Very good to be with you.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having taking the time that we can have you here, because you guys did exceptionally well, I must say. And I have just read through your research notes. I think it was Beacon, Echelon, and Paradigm Capital, and even Paradigm Capital has issued a $2.45 Canadian dollar target on you, and your stock is like between 60 and 65 cents. So this is like a 400% chance here in the views of Paradigm. And as I said, that's from the research houses, not from you and not from me. And but they were really enjoying it. I was enjoying it too, because I'm a shareholder of your company. 4 grams and 4.34 grams gold per ton over 110 meters. And this was in the JOS target. Yeah, I mean, as the researchers have written, this is a game changer, right?
Christmas came early at Revival Gold. Yeah, we're very excited about this whole 240 and the Beartrack-Arnett gold project in Idaho, in the JOS area, where we've been looking for more high grade to the core of mineralization over a kilometer of strike. It's very exciting.
Super. And you brought us here also some slides from your presentation. So maybe you want to explain here with the JOS zone and the South Pit zone.
Yes. So just to set the stage here, this is in the JOS area at Beartrack-Arnett. We're talking about over a kilometer of strike just in the JOS area, a picture there. And you can see the drill holes that we've got now. The highlights in pink are grades over 5 grams per ton of gold. And this is 100% gold's grade. This isn't a gold equivalent grade. And you can see the open area between the JOS and the South Pit. You can see that it's open at depth and off to the sides. So what we have here is a starter pit in the South Pit area. And then we've got this underground potential at JOS, where we've now got 18 drill holes over a kilometer of strike, and outlining a lot of potential in this deposit.
Mm-hmm. So would it make sense if I look now at the JOS zone and the South Pit zone, and this is approximately, if I do the dots here, like 500 meters, I would say is the gap. Is this something where you would say, okay, would be the next thing we are looking into?
We've hit with every drill hole into the Panther Creek Shear Zone, which hosts the mineralization here. And the answer is yes, absolutely. Lots of drilling targets here. And remember, we're permitted for all of this drilling. So we can get in here and expand on this. And you can bet that we're developing our plans for 2022. It'll be an active year.
Super. So that so to understand this correct, the South Pit zone is like the phase 1, that would be the open pit for the production, and the JOS zone is I would say like the not only the game changer, but this is like the big joker for the underground. But phase 2, which will really make the bright Revival looking extremely good.
Yes, and maybe we could flip to the next slide here.
Yes, please.
Jochen, because this describes in plan view what the situation looks like. I talked about that kilometer of strike. We're right in the shadow of the former leach pad here, which is always a good sign when you're exploring, to be in the shadow of a head frame or of a leach pad. And this is the area that's got us so excited here in JOS. Your viewers won't be able to see the drill intercepts, which are available on our website in our corporate presentation. But the summary is pictured here in the box on the left. We've got a broad zone of mineralization. Average intercept is just over 40 meters, and we're talking about 2.7 grams on average. But within that is this high-grade core of about 4.8 meters, averaging 7.3 grams. That's 18 drill holes. So this is a really exciting prospect for us. And I'll flip forward one more slide and show you the long section view looking at the Joss area. Again, 1 kilometer strike here, the 18 drill holes that we have in this area. And the reason why hole 240, which we've just released, is so important. Number one, as you point out, we've got over 100 meters, 110 meters of 4.3 grams. But within that, we've got 12 grams over 14 meters and another 9 grams over 12 meters. And it's down here about 350, 400 meters depth. It's underground mineable, and it's open. It's open to the south, it's open to the north, and it's open at depth. And broadly speaking, that in itself would be interesting. But when you've got it in the context of 18 drill holes, other drill holes, it really points to the continuity we have here and the ability for us to build an underground plan for this project. And it's very exciting for us. And again, we've only drilled down to 500 meters. Gold systems like this one, orogenic gold systems, tend to be very deep. They tend to be very pervasive and consistent in their mineralization. And that gives our geologists a ton of confidence that we can be drilling a lot more here, and we will. In 2022, we'll be developing plans to drill further below and to the sides of the Joss target.
Okay, super. And I mean, your drill success is really outstanding because I think every drill hole hit really, and not only it hit like a little bit, you really hit fantastic results with every hole. And you only did like 5,000 meters, but the success out of that, is to me like that you are in a very, very extremely rich and prospective area here.
It is. That's a very good hit ratio, 100%. And
you cannot do more.
It's indicative of the potential of the structure and the project. Now, but we have, some have asked us, well, why aren't you doing a lot more drilling? And the reason is that we want to make sure that our drilling adds to the scope of the project before we go in and run a massive drill program here, because we want to do it in a way that's constructive to our shareholders, where we don't dilute shareholders with a big equity raise ahead of showing the potential to the serious parties out there, both corporate and institutional, that understand the benefits of what we've just discovered with this whole 240.
Super. If you would put that a bit into the context, then I think if we, I think the next slide is showing that extremely well. If we look on different projects, like we see here, Canadian Magnetic, for example, and other Stibnite, I think is a great example. If you compare that with those projects, you are, I would say, on the right track, right?
Absolutely. So this goes back to the reason why large corporates and institutional investors are interested in what Revival Gold is developing. The geological model for the type of deposit we have, an orogenic gold system, they tend to be very big and very pervasive. And I think the closest example, you mentioned Canadian Malarctic, Stibnite. These are very good examples of orogenic gold systems that are quite large and quite big. We also get orogenic gold systems that have high grades in them, like Fosterville and Kittila and others. And in the case of Beartrack, we get those hallmarks. In fact, I would say Beartrack is most analogous to Kittila in terms of its structure, in terms of its orientation, in terms of its processing, and of course, Kittila is a very successful operation for Agnico in Finland. So not only are we getting the results, but we've got a model which points to this being a company-making mine.
Okay, super. So the next step would be, I think, in Q1 that you want to bring out a resource estimate, right?
Yeah, and we've been preparing the landscape for doing all of that and more. Over the last 6 months, 8 months, we've brought on a CFO and a VP development who come from producing companies and can help us make that leap and we'll be putting out our updated resource in the first quarter. By the end of next year, we'll be doing our PFS on the first phase heap leach, and we're making preparations to understand the full potential around the resource in the sulfides beyond. Now, I'll just come back to those appointments. Lisa Ross has been with us now as CFO for about 8 months, doing a fantastic job. And John Mayer just joining us. He'll start formally in January from one of our neighboring companies. Has got some great experience, has worked for the likes of Barrick. He's worked on the Stibnite project. He worked on Fruta del Norte. These are very high-profile development projects, and we're thrilled that John has chosen to join us and be part of the next generation, the next stage of our development.
So that means he really sees the potential.
That's it in a nutshell.
I would say. as I do also. Fantastic. You said also open to depths. To what depths you could imagine those systems can go there?
Yeah, we've drilled it down to 600 meters, and we know it's mineralized from surface down to 600 meters. Now, there's variability along strike and vertically to some degree, but generally it's a very consistent ore body. Can we double that and go down to 1.2 kilometers of depth in a system like this? I don't see why not. We've got examples of that elsewhere in the world, and it will require a lot of drilling. By the time you're talking about developing underground resources below 500-600 meters, you're probably talking about developing an underground decline to do that for the purposes of expansion and so on. But again, coming from a big company as I have done, this is the kind of thing you're looking for. You're looking for something that would allow you to get started and has the prospect and options to expand and continue to grow. We see the potential with Beartrack-Arnett for this to become a better than 200,000 ounce a year producer for better than 15 or 20 years, and that's a company-making project.
Yeah, definitely. And then you're on the Christmas shopping list for next year of the mid-tier companies. No, I'm joking.
You're joking, but you're absolutely right, because look at this recent transaction that Kinross has undertaken. We've seen several others this year, but the transaction for Great Bear is an example of how important good quality projects in good locations are for the mid-cap and senior gold companies to fill their cupboards and allow them to continue to deliver gold. I would say Great Bear has about twice the drilling that we have available to us with no resource. We've got 3 million ounces of gold, and we're open in all directions. And if you start to look at the kinds of grades we're getting in the system at Joss, I would say they're comparable. So this is a project that's got a lot of potential to it. It's true, we've got to do a lot of work. We've got a lot of drilling to do. But the senior gold companies, the intermediate gold companies are looking for projects like this. And we have the potential to put Beartrack-Arnett back into operation with a first phase to produce a modest amount of gold so that we're not beholden to the market's interest in exploration only. We've got both aspects to this project.
Absolutely. How is it going with the, let's say, development if the phase 1 project, meaning with permitting and stuff like this? How is your workflow going? Are you on schedule?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on in terms of engineering and in terms of supplemental environmental data collection and so on. And all of those work paths, work streams are progressing. We'll have more of that happening in 2022. We've already got some preliminary metallurgical results out of our 13 column tests. We've got our geotechnical drilling done, looking to expand our pit slopes, hydrological work, mine optimization and planning. All of that is underway and progressing towards that first phase heap leach restart.
Super. Do you see any risks or anything which could be, let's say, difficult to get permits on?
Yeah, listen, permitting anywhere is a risky affair. The benefit of being on a brownfield site and in the
Mhm.
location, Idaho, where we are, where we're rated #1 in the world in terms of policy for exploration and mining, and where we have the support of the local community, is that the winds are at our back as opposed to at our fronts. And so we are taking the steps required. We are a responsible operator, and there's a lot of work that has to happen in terms of permitting and developing the plans to restart the operation. But we're making good progress. And the major risks, really, it's time and making sure that we collect the data that we need to collect, and that we continue to build on the relationships we have locally with the state, with the county, and with the community. And we're working hard on that. We've got a super team, and we've got the support of the local population.
Super, fantastic, Hugh. Thank you very much for the update. It looks like that things are really going well for you guys, and I would say we talk in approximately 6-8 weeks. Hopefully, you have then your resource update already, and look forward, of course, to some more results, interpretations, and news in between. So I wish you Merry Christmas, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jochen. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to your viewers.
Thank you very much, and to you. Thanks. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Hugh Agro from Revival Gold, the CEO, and you heard it. Things are going extremely well, and with that game changer hole, what they have published here with 110 meters at 4.34 grams gold, and this is an absolutely game changer. This is fantastic. It shows the really hefty potential of the Joss target, which is the phase 2 underground target, but also at the South Pit Zone for the open pit for it looks like bulk mining, open pit bulk mining. It goes on extremely well. Permitting goes well. Things are going well. This is how we want to have it. And this is a great development project on a brownfield site. The infrastructure is there, and they have the team to really deliver the next mine here in Idaho. And you heard it. It looks like more than 5 million ounces probably. So for that share price today, this is a real bargain. Have a look on Revival Gold. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.